This summer, purple is the new black. We are talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks dropping their City Connect jerseys and how much I adore them. Plus, Dalton Feely's going to stop by and give his thoughts on the jerseys, and also umpires just changing the strike zone without telling anybody. All of this in 30 seconds. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Welcome in to another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast right here in Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. My name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as a guy that's been keeping a secret for entirely too long. I am thankful to have you guys here, and I am thankful to finally be talking about these bad boys right here. We got ourselves some Arizona Diamondbacks City Connect jerseys. The release happened today, and boy, did we go crazy buying all the merch. Of course, welcome into the PHNX Diamondbacks Show, presented by our friends at Bet365 and Game Time. Go download that Bet365 app right now. Use our code of PHNX365 when you sign up. You'll get some bonus bets. And of course, check out Game Time. It is the best place to get last-minute ticket deals. You can use our code of PHNX on your first purchase. You will get $20 off that purchase. Let's go, guys. Welcome in to another edition of the show. Again, my name is Derek Montilla, occasionally known as your mayor of PHNX. I got my guy, large, intimate Kevin Thomas, occasionally known as Big Kev, because he's 6 foot tall and you just can't teach that on the ones and twos. Kev, I know you were not very keen on the leaks. I know you weren't very keen on how busy the City Connect jerseys are, but what did you think when you finally saw them in person?
Yeah, look, I wasn't like hating on them. I didn't hate them at all. They just weren't like my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life. And then Emma brought that, I think maybe that exact one into the office, possibly.
One right here.
And in person, it is gorgeous. Yeah, in person, it really is gorgeous. And I didn't like it at all when it first dropped.
Pretty.
But the in-person version made me a believer for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing. Not to mention that we just have this. We also have hats. The hats dropped. I told you, I know some of you have seen these hats in the hat shop. I don't know if that was a mistake or just something they did last year, but I know this hat, this incredible hat, which has Arizona born on the inside with a beautiful little snake, little pattern going on the inside. This hat has been just hiding in plain sight right in front of us at times. I know it was. It's got an incredible little teal logo on the back. I love everything about this hat. Sir, what do you got?
Creative choice question for you on the hat. Can you bring it back out?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Arizona born on the forehead? How do we feel about that?
Oh, yeah, because then I'm going to, like, is it, well, it is kind of imprinted. So
is it going to be, like, why is that not on the back? Yeah, why is that not on the back?
Because I'm going to get a little.
Beautiful hat, though.
I'm going to get a little Arizona born imprint on my forehead, and then I'm going to be able to look in the mirror, and it's going to be the right way. So that's a treat for me, not for you guys. That's really for me. But yeah, no, this thing goes so freaking hard. Of course, you can see it. You can't kind of see it, but there is a.
Yeah, you can see it.
There's a flag inside of there. Stephen Mitchell's absolutely right. This flag, this hat goes insane, and it's my favorite part. Kevin put it best. I think that the jersey is very busy, maybe when you see it alone, but the uniform as a whole is incredible. And of course, you can't just take our word for it. We got to bring in a Serpientes aficionado himself, someone who knows this team, loves this team, and especially loves rocking Serpientes gear. It's the one and only Dalton Feely from John Boy. Dalton, happy Purple Drip Day, my friend. The Arizona Diamondbacks dropped these City Connect jerseys. What are your thoughts?
I mean, fire can't describe how freaking gorgeous these are. By golly. I mean, sheesh, the purple and teal, it just pops. And I have always been a purple and teal truther. It looks gorgeous. I'm so happy, and I can't wait to get one for myself because I need one immediately, ASAP.
we got more. We got the hoodie here too, Dalton. I can't get it the right way. Here we go. Hoodie, a lot of teal on the hoodie, the flag on the hoodie. I mean, this is like turning into a QVC episode for you to go to the team shop and pick up all this stuff. But I don't care about that because, we spent some money. They also gave us this incredible bag, by the way, Dalton, which this was for free. And this was just part of the deal here, I believe. They're doing some good things over there. The unveiling was cool. I felt like the video that they did with Sierra Santos was spot on. And I thought that, again, they gave great explanation as to all of these details and all the reason why this means so much, to the community, especially here in Arizona.
Yeah, I love seeing from each team's City Connect releases, they do like that graphic of the zoomed in parts of the jersey and for what of the hidden details, quote unquote, are included for each of them. And the Diamondback, like the one with Geraldo Perdomo, looks absolutely fantastic, and it breaks down literally every like little hidden detail, like within like the Arizona born that you guys just brought up too. Like that's a nice little bit too. You don't really see it, but it's there. It's a piece of it.
There's so many little things. I love the touches myself. I love the little 48 for the 48th state hidden in the 1998. Right. Like the 1998, it's like purple, and then part of it is white, and it highlights 48. We have some of the images here of the players wearing the jerseys, and they're extra swaggy. We could definitely go on. We could rate levels of swagginess here from the Diamondbacks, but they all have swag. And I mean, again, man, the photo shoot is cool. The shout out obviously to the Diamondbacks past is cool. I talked about it the other day, Dalton, but this is kind of like a combination of all of their jerseys that have ever existed in a way, right? Like you have the Serpientes from the City Connect. You have the Gradient from those weird Gradient jerseys those years. You obviously have the purple and teal influence from, the World Series years in that era. And then this flag. I love this flag, by the way. This is another one of those touches. They also have that on the hoodie as well that I think this is just a really well done launch. And I mean, I know this is the team we love, the team we cover. I just really feel like this was the City Connect jersey that knocked it out of the park this year.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with the accumulation of all the jerseys, past from present, and now to the future with this new City Connect release. Yeah. I'll admit, when the announcement was made that the Diamondbacks were getting a new City Connect, I was a little bummed out because I really love this Sand Serpientes jersey. It's a really good look.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very happy with how this came out. Like this was the best possible result of the release, and it looks fantastic. I'm also really happy that they kept Serpientes on it and not Diamondbacks or Dbacks or anything in Arizona. It goes back to those City Connects as well. It just looks. I'm going to keep saying gorgeous, fantastic, fabulous, all these adjectives to describe it.
No, I'm with you 100%. And honestly, there was the Serpientes thing was a bit divisive. I will say that what kind of does suck about the Serpientes thing, if you didn't like it on the old jersey, and that was like a part of the thing you didn't like about it, then that's what they didn't get rid of. You know what I mean? So, and we've seen other teams change that. We saw the Astros go from Space City to Stros and things like that. So I'm sure some people expected maybe, them to actually change that. I'm with you though. I kind of like it. I like the fact that the Diamondbacks didn't change it. I like that they are extending, this alternate identity of being the Serpientes into the next iteration. And honestly, again, what it means to the Hispanic culture here in the Valley, and it just looks cool. I did love the other Serpientes jersey. I'm with you on that. Like, I do think Nike messed some things up with it when they changed over and the colors and stuff, because I felt like it was much more of a sand, and it got definitely, especially seeing some of the merch that came out, it got definitely almost to a yellow tint that a lot of people didn't really like about it. But I love the classic design of it. I've been a big proponent of the fact that the Diamondbacks don't have that history of being a throwback baseball team. So I felt like the Serpientes jersey was the closest thing that got it to, kind of having that old school identity. But this one, it just does such a good job of embracing the Serpientes identity that we know and love, mixing it and actually bringing back purple and teal and having, that be a color, a combination that fans have wanted back so bad that that's actually a color they're going to wear. Maybe not just on Thursdays, maybe, more regularly than that. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah, I liked the vest jerseys they used to do on the Throwback Thursdays for those home games. That was awesome. Because those are always been my favorite jersey. The vintage late 1990s, early 2000s
Yeah,
with the purple
yeah.
sleeves from the vest. That's my favorite jersey we've had so far, and this is probably in the top 3 now with the current black and teal jersey that we have. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see them. I believe the first game they're wearing them is Friday, if I saw that right.
Yes,
So I
against the
can't wait.
Dodgers. Yeah, it's going to be May 9th against the Dodgers. That's when they're going to debut.
Could be cinema, Derek. It's all I'm saying.
I love the way it's set up, right? It's set up. It's set up
Look good,
perfectly for
play
it.
good.
I do have
Right?
some news from the team shop, by the way. They did want me to let everybody know
Nice.
that the custom jerseys will be available on the next homestand. So if you were looking to get your name put across, or perhaps a player that they don't have there currently in stock hanging on the shelves, that those will be available soon. So hold out a little bit further for that. But
Yumin Lin?
maybe I'd get myself a Yumin Lin. I would absolutely. Now that's all I want. You put that in my Lawlar, maybe a Lawlar jersey. I don't know. You can go crazy. The one thing I do like is when you get it doesn't matter if you're getting a player that is up on the shelf or adding a player or doing your own custom name. It's all the same price. So I say go wild with the custom name and enjoy yourself. But Jordan Lawlar, a great topic, a great way to transition. Been killing it. Dalton, people here are going to lose their minds if Jordan Lawlar doesn't get called up soon. I have still been trying to temper expectations due to the fact that we would not have a place for him to play regularly. I know Torrey could figure it out, but I still think that's where we're at. But Jordan Lawlar was named the PCL Player of the Month after he slashed 408, 487, 749 in the month of April. He led the PCL in runs scored with 31, hits with 42, total bases with 77, extra base hits with 21, OPS at 1.235, and slugging percentage all in the month of April. Not bad.
Some are saying pretty good. I don't know. It's like he's a top prospect. It's like his offensive skills and prowess could be used at the major league level. I don't know. I do understand the argument of if he's not going to play every day, let him get everyday reps down in the AAA in the PCL. Sure, I get that. But if he's going to contribute to the major league level, even if he's not playing every day, if he's playing half of these games, that's a big component for the Diamondbacks lineup potentially. It can give a spark. I know we've seen some flashes of some of these guys like Lourdes breaking out in this previous road trip.
Yeah.
But that said, there's 3 guys, especially, and Steven and Josh highlighted it during the Philadelphia series, between Lourdes, Gabby, and Gino are very streaky hitters. Jordan Lawlar, if you bring him in, regardless we're going to play him, could break up the streakiness of some of these players and help that lineup out.
They need that. They need something to connect because, the guys at the top of the lineup have been getting the job done. Josh Naylor's been great, but once you get past that point, you really have no consistency. I think you don't know what you're going to get. And like you said, yes, Gino's been doing a little bit better. Lourdes had a great series, even though he was 0-for in the finale. He finally seemed like he was back a little bit. But I think the problem also is, Dalton, as you know, it's the PCL. Right. So it's like as tantalizing as it is sometimes to look at a guy in the PCL doing this, you have to be realistic about the adjustment. I am going to give you one Jake McCarthy's numbers this year for Reno. Jake was hitting for the Arizona Diamondbacks 073, 170, 098, an 098 slugging percentage with a 268 OPS overall. That was in 47 plate appearances at the big league level. Jake McCarthy is currently slashing 435, 509, 652 with a 1.162 OPS in 53 plate appearances for the Reno Aces. So I'm not saying there's not a happy in between there for Jake. It feels great that Jake got him back on track. Jake seems to tell Torrey he's going to go hit 400 for the Aces whenever Torrey sends him down, and then he does it based on spite. Yeah. But again, that jump start that he gets from Reno usually translates over to Jake being able to be back on track at a major league level, right? So it's but at the same time, I just caution that these numbers for even Jordan Lawlar are great to look at, but it's just not necessarily the same thing as actually hitting against major league pitching.
Right, it's a little bit of a mirage because the twofold is, one, the talent between AAA and MLB. There is a jump. I know there's sometimes a perceived notion that there's no talent difference between AAA and some of the worser MLB level caliber players, but there is, and we've seen that throughout MLB, MLB and minor leagues across the entire league, not just within the PCL and the minor leagues. Number two, the PCL. I don't know why those parks just get mashed all the time. We've seen it not even with Jordan Lawlar, Jake McCarthy. It's like almost every single player plays well in the PCL. It's usually a bigger problem if players aren't performing offensively. That becomes a bigger issue.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to say with McCarthy, he was showing life support flashes with the Diamondbacks, and so I was kind of hopeful he was going to break out. And I think he might have done so with PCL. So maybe if he gets another chance, he could do it. I don't know if I want to see him again or not anytime soon. It depends on health. I hope Jake McCarthy, PCL, can just come back to Chase Field and be that type of player again.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael's right. He says Lawlar has a 12% walk rate down there, though. That'll play PCL or not. So, there's that. And again, it's just the fact that Lawlar seems to be he really seems to be in a stride now, right? Like this is just what happens, though. You have players for this farm system that do excellent, especially when they hit Reno, and then again, you want to see them up here so bad. You also wonder why when they get here that all of a sudden they're hitting 153 and not doing the same thing they were doing in AAA. AJ Vukovic, he's another guy that's been doing great consistently for this team for Reno. He's slashing 307, 340, 685. He has 8 home runs, 25 RBI, playing left field, right field, and DH. He's a guy with the way things are going for the Diamondbacks. We might even see him this season. We don't really know. There's just been, of course, some depth issues and again, trying to, like you said, spark the offense, trying to find somebody that can come up and spark the offense.
The one other thing with the PCL, too, it's the flip of these guys have to perform offensively in that league. The pitching, too, I think that's one of the reasons why the Diamondbacks have a hard time developing some of their pitchers, because they're playing in a league where that ball is going to fly, and they're going to give up a lot of runs. So I don't know what the balance could be there.
I don't know, but let me tell you, they're going to play like superheroes wearing this jersey, Dalton. They're going to play at a different level. It's going to be like when I dyed my hair purple and Lourdes became a superhero. But that's not the only merch we got. Not to make you too jealous. I know you from our chat description. They say that it looks like you're in a DMV right now. Not sure where your actual location is. But we did receive a wonderful care package from our friends at the Amarillo Sod Poodles, and they asked me to wait on it. It says live animals are in here. I did not poke holes in it. So that might be a problem. There might be something awful and dead inside of here, but we'll see what we got in here. And of course, we love the Sod Poodles. They do such an amazing job as a minor league organization, to be honest. One of the best in the league. But oh my gosh, we got a new identity for the Sod Poodles, guys. I don't know what this means. We got a hat. We got some cool blue colors on it. I don't know what it's a pig. There's a pig running. I don't know what he's running from, and we're about to find out because there's also a t-shirt in here. So let's give you the official kind of a pig deal.
Big deal.
Are they the pigs now? They're the pig. I need to find out more. They don't give me any explanation, but they send me incredible pieces of merchandise. Someone asked, what is a sod poodle in the chat? A sod poodle is it's a prairie dog, right? It's what we know him as. It's a prairie dog. Kevin's completely lost. He has no idea what's going on. But yes, apparently the Sod Poodles have sent us their new identity, and it says kind of a pig deal. And then we got a pig here. I don't know actually what the actual identity is of this team now, but I don't know if anything's going to be better than the calf fries for sure.
That outfit on its own is fire.
It's pretty fire,
like if
right?
you just wore that shirt hat combo, that'd be fire.
Let's see. Did they get? Oh, they got my hat size right. Let's go with this one. We're gonna go with this one. Oh, that's frosty. I like that. Sheesh. We have all sorts of merchandise.
That's a very
Look at this. We got all the money. We got all the stuff, Dalton. But we gotta really take a quick moment because we gotta make some money really fast in order to pay for all of this stuff. So we will be right back. Don't you guys go anywhere. Dalton, don't you go anywhere. We got to talk about Major League umpires changing the strike zone without telling anybody, and we're going to do it on the other side of this break. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Don't you go anywhere. Well, I have no shade to throw today, but I have lots of shade to talk about, including adding shade to your outdoor living space with our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts. You can extend your outdoor living space with a custom fit awning. More importantly, you can also cool off your patio with roll down patio shades, or even cool down your home if you have one of those homes that has that window that faces the insufferable sun throughout the summer. Get yourself some beautiful roll down patio shades. They look super cool and they keep your house super cool, up to 20 degrees cooler. And that is all thanks to our friends at All Pro Shade Concepts. They can also replace and fix most old or outdated patio shades and awnings. And of course, they've been in business here in the Valley for 20 years. They were ranked #1 by Ranking Arizona for patio shades in 2024, and they have a BBB A+ rating with over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google. So make sure to use someone that you can trust. They'll do a great job. They can also make sure your HOA is cool with whatever they put up. So of course, give them a call at 623-204-1476 or visit allproshadeconcepts.com now to schedule your free estimate. And also, if you want to keep yourself even cooler, got to get yourself a good pair of Shady Rays. And now is the time. Summer is upon us. Honestly, here in Arizona, the sun never quits. So you should probably have a good pair of sunglasses year round, and you can get them from Shady Rays. They have durable frames and crystal clear optics. Of course, their polarized lenses are amazing. They have those color rush lenses I've been talking about that just make life more beautiful and protect your eyes. And of course, if your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, you don't have to sweat it with Shady Rays. They have the most insane protection plan in all of eyewear. Trust me, I've called them twice now. Every pair is backed by their lost or broken replacement plan. And of course, PHNX listeners, you guys right now win. You can go to shadyrays.com and save 35% off polarized sunglasses with code PHNX. Over 300,000 people have rated Shady Rays 5 stars. So go use code PHNX today at shadyrays.com. All right. Well, let me get back into this hat, even though I'm going to maybe change into this whole outfit later. Dalton, we had a weird report that came out. I guess it really hasn't changed much in MLB because umpires are still making terrible calls. But according to a report from Jason Stark and Ken Rosenthal, that was a cheap dig, cheap shot. According to the guys over at The Athletic, MLB has apparently, or at least the umpires within their own confines of I guess grading umpires and of what is a strike and isn't a strike, they kind of changed the strike zone and didn't send out the memo to players or MLB teams. And the change is that buffer zone around the strike zone. We've talked about it on the show quite a bit. You see it on game day when you're looking at the strike zone. You got the actual strike zone with the squares, and then you have that blue area on the outside. That blue area previously was measured a distance of 2 inches on the outside of the plate. And I don't know how to phrase this without getting nasty at umpires, because of course it's definitely what I do, but it's almost a way for the umpires to call those close calls balls or strikes and not really be counted as being wrong. Right? If it was close enough to the zone where it's within that 2-inch buffer zone, then they could call it a ball, they could call it a strike, they could call it whatever they want. If it's outside of that, then it's a bit more egregious and they get marked off as being wrong on that particular call. This is what we see on like umpire scorecards and such on Twitter. But again, they have now apparently reduced that bumper, that safe zone, if you will, from 2 inches down to 3/4 of an inch. They've reduced it by more than half. And again, I mean, I think that this is a good thing for baseball because I do feel like that was maybe a bit too much leeway. It's just strange that they didn't make any kind of, I guess, notice about this, considering that they always make a big deal about changing anything in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's that big conservative energy of baseball, like keeping everything the same. We don't want to change it. Right. We love it. It's fine. Why change America's pastime? But sometimes change is good. And I think one of the biggest things from this study that was released from The Athletic is that since StatCast had been tracking pitches since 2015, this is the highest percent of correctly called balls and strikes in baseball. Right. So this change has also led to umpires being more accurate. Gives us a little bit less to gripe about with these umpires.
Correct.
Derek. The one though I will yeah, you and me too. Why am I lying? The one thing that's interesting though, looking at some of the data, is that overall it's been the highest percent of correct calls by umpires, but it is the lowest correct percent since 2016 for strikes. So this is really affecting pitchers big time because sure, it's by a percentage or two, but that does make a difference in games. And we've seen it for some of these where pitchers are pretty confident that this is a ball should be called a strike, and the umpires are not budging on it. So
yeah.
We've seen this play out a little bit to where the zone is smaller, and I think the main purpose of this choice was to drive some more offense in this league. I know they don't want walks, but if the pitchers have to be more precise, more in the zone, that could lead to batters hitting those potential mistakes that are in the zone.
Yeah. Well, if you have to pitch it more in the middle, that's the kind of the result at times, right? And it's also a matter of, pitchers getting frustrated or pitchers just needing to try to get back into the count when they're down 3-0. I know we've seen that with some Diamondbacks pitchers this year. Quite frankly, we have some guys here that were supposed to be absolute studs that have struggled. Corbin Burnes is one of those guys that we've seen throw the cutter low in the zone and not really get those calls at times. And like you said, I mean, it seems to be like they're erring on the side of not giving it to the pitcher versus giving it to the pitcher. So when it's those close calls, even though those were touching the zone, even though they're well within that buffer zone that we're talking about, they're not getting the calls at times. And again, I mean, you've just seen innings get extended on the Diamondbacks starting pitchers, and that's led to obviously shorter outings and more opportunities for the opposition to score. You really do feel like at times that this kind of change, like you said, has been part of the impact on why this this particular starting rotation is struggling. And again, Diamondbacks are still in the bottom 10 for starting rotations for ERA. So it's not like other teams are struggling nearly as much with this. The Mets starters don't seem to be having a problem with this at all. But again, it does seem like, again, when you've seen some of these unexpectedly bad outings out of guys like Zach Gallen and even Corbin Burnes, which he hasn't been terrible. He's just had a couple of those games where it was a bit of a disappointing outing that this rule change does have an impact on some of this.
I do have a couple notes about Corbin Burnes specifically, but not about this particular conversation. The one thing I think is very interesting from this study is that no one was told that this change was going to be made. I think it's totally cool that baseball made a change to basically try to drive up offense, right? And have umpires become more accurate. Sure, it's all that's great. I think we should relay that message so that teams know, hey, the strike zone is going to be a little bit smaller. There's going to be less leeway. Reading through the article, Logan Webb had a very funny quote through the Athletic article. He goes, if it's smaller, I do think we should be told that it's smaller and that the buffer zone might be smaller. Basically, help us out. We're trying to pitch. We're trying to
just let us know.
Pitches. How the hell are we going to do that?
Especially guys that are veterans of the league that have kind of been used to they know the rules. They know the rules about those kind of things. They know when they're going out there that based on that, I mean, that's 4 extra inches, in both directions, essentially, vertically and horizontally, right? Between the 2 inches. There's a lot of room to play with there as a starting pitcher. You can get a chance to see how the home plate umpire is calling it. Okay, he's not really calling high strikes, but he's letting low strikes kind of go and stuff like that. You can adjust your game throughout your outing, and you can do so based on that information, based on, what you know already about the game and what you know about umpires calling a game, right? But like you said, not telling people and doing it that's the wildest part, because again, everything seems to be conveyed in baseball. Everything seems to be, again, tested in the minor leagues first and then approved and then brought up to Major League Baseball. There's typically a process, but this seemed like some sort of just secret thing to increase offense in baseball. And that part of it makes it seem a little sinister.
Yeah, this is where baseball gets a bad rep, where it's like they're an evil organization and they're in their tower during a thunderstorm, and Manfred's just like this saying,
how can we increase ERA across the league?
How can we induce more offense? Their intention isn't bad. It's just preposterous that they did this without telling anyone that they're going to make this change. Because especially if a guy, let's use Corbin Burnes as an example. Let's use Corbin Burnes. I think he's a little bit better than the caliber pitcher, I'm going to say, but he is someone who's got good stuff. But if he was a pitcher that relied solely on command, knowing where the zone is, that's a massive change going into a season not knowing that was made by the MLB and by umpires. Those minor, that inch, 2 inches can make a big deal of a couple punch outs, a couple walks that leads to runs, that leads to wins and losses, that leads to making the playoffs, not making the world playoffs. There's a whole domino effect from this decision making. I'm just shocked that they didn't tell anyone.
Bees in the chat says no salary cap is as evil as it gets. Maybe so. You might be right. You might be on to
salary
there.
floor too, maybe.
Yeah. Well, hey, buddy, I appreciate your time so much. As always, you are the man. You are holding it down for us Snake fans in New York, and we got to get you a Dalton jersey here soon enough.
Wow, at Dbacks shop? Question mark?
Yeah, Rattle Republic, I think, is the official shop, so make sure to check that out. But again, this bad boy. Can you wait? I can't wait to see Cherry P in this jersey.
I am so jealous that you
are. This is great. This is amazing. So, hey, buddy, thank you again for your time. We'll see you next week, and go Diamondbacks.
As always, go Snakes. Hopefully they win. Let's go.
Appreciate you, buddy. See you later. All right. Well, the people want me to put it on. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll put it on. Maybe we'll put it on for Mailbag Monday. In all transparency, this isn't my jersey, and I have no business putting it on. But I think I got approval from the person whose jersey it is, potentially. He specifically wanted me to model all of this stuff again. And that's because all of this stuff is incredible. It's going to take me forever to get this thing off, but I will put it on. We got a super chat from BCom See Clearly. He says, I want to see Noah in the City Connect, Daddy Noah. He's busy right now. He's doing some sort of something for the Suns. All right, here we go. We're not taking the hoodie off because I'm not allowed to go shirtless on this program any longer. I've been told that, but here we go.
That looks damn good.
This is where we're at. I mean, even with the hoodie on underneath, come on, like, get out of here with this. This is ridiculous. It's not even the right color purple, but I don't care. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, we got got to pay some more bills for all of this money we spent on merch. So, of course, don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Of course, whatever the moment, it is never ordinary over at Bet365. This is a crazy week for the Diamondbacks taking on the Mets and the Dodgers. I don't know what plays I like, but hopefully I'll be giving you some soon. But you should go over to the Bet365 app. Of course, if you haven't signed up yet, you can do so with our code of PHNX365. When you do, get yourself some bonus bets. Of course, they do offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. So if you can't get down on it yet, if you can't get in there yet, maybe you can do so while the game is in progress once you have a feel for how things are going to go. With the Bet365 early payout offer, you are a winner if your team goes ahead by 5 runs with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections, which will be marked as winners. Of course, new customers right now can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Use the code of PHNX365 when you sign up. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 or more to receive $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or over and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov. Well, this is Derek Montilla, of course, and this is the PHNX Diamondback Show, and we have big news from our friends at Sanderson Ford. Ford just announced the From America for America employee pricing, and now you pay the same price as the owner of Sanderson Ford does on the full line on new Fords with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense, and also, most importantly, no added markups. Of course, on top of employee pricing, you can get additional Ford incentives on over 1,000 vehicles during the Sanderson Ford Platinum 70th anniversary sale. These folks have been in business for 70 years, and for good reason: customer satisfaction. They take care of their customers, and in celebration of their 70th anniversary, stop in right now to get a pair of tickets to an Arizona Diamondbacks game. Let's go. Get yourself a Serpientes jersey. Go get some free tickets from Sanderson Ford. They just want you to stop by. No test drive required. But of course, you want to make sure to check out that Bronco, some of those F-150s over there. They will also hook you up with a test drive as well. Excludes 2025 Expedition, Super Duty, Ford, Raptor Family, Mustang, and Bronco specialty vehicles. 1 pair of tickets per household with valid driver's license to the July 6th game versus the Kansas City Royals, while supplies last, of 200 tickets. So make sure to get over there soon. All right, Kev. Well, I'm pumped. I'm also wearing a lot of clothes. I might put more clothes on. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw this little guy on underneath here. Get this guy going as like an undershirt deal. And I'll wear all the clothes and I'll wear all the hats, and we'll just have ourselves a day here. Oh, that one's too small. There we go. Yeah, see, this is how I want to live my life. This is me at my happiest, to be honest. And yeah, I love baseball a lot. But you know, I love even more. I love the fact that every year on this show is our year. I love the fact that every month on this podcast is Black History Month. Every month on this podcast is Women's History Month. And every single goddamn month on this podcast, this is Black Women's History Month, celebrated right here on this show. Every single week is Shark Week. Every single day is Earth Day. But on Mondays are special. We go to the mailbag. Kevin, let's go to the mailbag.
My mailbox, always something interesting in my mailbox. I try to get to everything in my mailbox. And then once in a while, there's a letter that makes me go, wow, wow, my mailbox.
All right, what do we got in the mailbox today, Kev?
First up, flea ball. At what point do we stop checking on our exes? Walker, Jock, Newman. I still check on Patrick Corbin. That's a problem.
Yes, that is hilarious. And you know what? I don't know. Is there ever a time where it's okay to stop checking in on your exes? I guess when you start having success in life yourself, right? When big things start happening for you, you don't need to go check that social media page to see if they change their, status on relationship. You don't even need to friend them anymore. That relationship is dead. It's over. We need to move on, right? Especially when your ex goes 0 for 41, right? Especially when your ex still has a bad oblique. And most importantly, especially when your ex isn't the infield utility guy that he was for you. I don't know what happens to players when they leave this team, quite frankly, but it does satisfy me to know that they went somewhere else and aren't producing at an extremely high level where you regret losing them, right? In fact, I actually would hope for Jock Peterson and Christian Walker to be having a much better season than they are having, unless they're playing the Diamondbacks. But I love those guys. I think they were great guys. They were great guys to be around and to cover. And I think that, again, you kind of hope the best for them, but you also don't really want them doing better than what you're doing, right? You don't really want them to have a higher batting average than Pavin Smith and Josh Naylor combined, right? We don't want that. So yeah, I guess I don't know. I think when we have some sort of firm grip on a wild card position or perhaps even a divisional lead, maybe we can stop spying on them. But until then, just keep an eye on what Patrick Corbin's doing every single day. What else we got there, Kev?
Next up, JJ wants to know, Seawalk plays for another team now. Who is stepping up to be our new Dodger killer?
Oh, that's a tremendously good question. And one, I probably should have researched much better than this, but I will say I have a feeling that the guy that's going to take over that mantle is the same guy who has frog blood, right? Amphibious qualities and tendencies, right? Because it takes frog blood to go into Dodger Stadium and turn it into Christian Walker Stadium, right? So that's definitely something that I would put on Geraldo to do. But I don't know. I mean, again, there's several guys on this team that I wouldn't be surprised if they became that guy. I'll say one guy that wouldn't surprise me at all is Josh Naylor, the guy who takes over for Christian Walker over there at first base. He very much could be that guy that could be the new Christian Walker for this team. I think it is kind of sad that we don't have that, though, and I'm going to very much miss Walker coming over here and absolutely abusing the Dodgers. But so far in his career, Perdomo, not bad. That's what I was looking up. 255, 319, 353 with a 672 OPS, but still not great. And maybe with the new version of Frogdomo that we've seen, this transition into this amphibious phase of his career, maybe we will definitely see him pick those numbers up. What else we got, Kev?
Next up in the mailbag, Nate Cleveland. With all the injuries over the last couple of years, is it fair to start questioning our medical department or start questioning usage of players with inconsistent play or roles?
I don't know. See, that's the problem here is this kind of gets into dangerous territory when you start talking about, are they used too much or are they used too little?
Danger zone.
Where are we at, right? Like, again, this feels like where blame wants to be placed on somebody, but can we ever just blame the human body? Can we just ever blame the player? And it's not even the player's fault, but I do understand what people are saying here, right? When the Diamondbacks have the pile of pitching injuries that they currently have, but they brought in a pitching coach who specializes or focuses on biomechanics and how players can actually change the way they're doing things in order to prevent injuries. I don't really know what the answer here is, right? Like you look across baseball, I think sometimes because we're so hyper-focused on the Diamondbacks, we feel like there are more injuries to this team than there are to other teams in baseball. But this is kind of a problem across baseball, and some good players are being lost. There was, think back about the first 2 weeks of the season, the first 3 weeks of the season, and how many players were suddenly lost for the year. Think about how many losses the Yankees have had. So while it's a fair question, I just don't know if you necessarily blame the medical staff. This kind of comes back to the Merrill Kelly thing. How does the medical staff not figure out some sort of combination of I don't know, fluids or other things like vitamins or just straight up remedies to fix Merrill Kelly and his cramping, right? And again, you can't always blame them for not trying to do so. You can't always think that they're not trying to do something, but again, injuries kind of happen, and sometimes you just can't do much about them, right? And again, I do think it's fair to question it, but I also think that because we're Diamondbacks fans, we're going to notice this pile of injuries more than we're going to notice the fact that it's just happening around baseball, So let's see. And Tanner says it's not from hydration, it's from vascular problems. Yeah, in regards to Ketel Marte. So listen to Tanner. Tanner knows what he's talking about. Just stop texting us to tell the Diamondbacks to give him a banana, because that's not going to be what fixes him for now. What else we got, Kev?
We do have a super chat from B. Calm C. Clearly, who says, Kevin is my new boyfriend behind the scenes. Or BF. You know what I mean?
He's bad BF. Could be best friend.
It could be best friends. But that's why I corrected myself. Okay. I was being assumptuous, and that's on me.
Yeah, because he has a sweet baby daddy in Noah, so there's no way.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Pick him up for him. All right. What else we got in the bag?
Next up in the mailbag, we got that's me back in Scotland after following the Snakes around for 10 days. I got to 4 games, all wins: Braves, Mets, Phillies. We lost the 5 I missed. Am I to blame for the losses or responsible for the wins?
Wow, this is a philosophical question. So he went to 4 games. Came here for 10 days from Scotland, which hope you had a great time. Said he got to 4 games. They won all 4. I think that we need to move him stateside, quite frankly. I think he needs to be a season ticket holder, and I think he needs to travel with the team. I'd put him on the team plane. I don't know what job I would give you. Well, I don't know what you're good at. Maybe medical staff, because some people are questioning that we might need someone there. Do you have your degree perhaps in medicine? I don't know. We could talk, but Ryan was right. Someone buy this guy season tickets and plane tickets. Let's call it a day. This is absolutely something that needs to be done. I do blame you for the losses. You were here for 10 days and you didn't go to every single Diamondbacks game in those 10 days. What, you had other stuff to see and do besides baseball? Are you even a real fan? I don't know, but I kid. Great job on at least bringing the team those 4 wins. I would say based on the way they've been playing and what they've been going through, I'm going to credit you for being their good luck charm. And not the opposite way around. Ryan H says you're hired as Vibes manager, so I think Vibes manager is a really good. That's a really good job for you, and I think we can get you a corner office, maybe a cube. It might not be nice, but hey, we'll get you to as many games as we humanly can. So we got some more stuff to talk about in the mailbag, but first, of course, I want to gloat about how excited I am that we here at ALLCITY are working with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Of course, in my past, I have done a lot of work with youth through other organizations. I've done mentorship programs. And at times, besides being a dad, I feel like it's one of the best things I've ever done with my life. We are very excited to be included along with all of ALLCITY and teaming up with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of America for an exciting 3-year partnership. And of course, this one isn't just about sports. This is about our community. This is about impacting lives. And I think that it's something that not just us here at PHNX can do, not just us at ALLCITY can do, but each and every one of you can get involved with. And again, I know at times maybe we're all feeling a little bit like Yelena from Thunderbolts. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just saying, sometimes you feel like you need a purpose and don't have one. Sometimes you feel like the day-to-day grind is a little empty. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more fulfilling at times than the impact you can have on a young person's life. Of course, we are excited to support youth mentorship that really makes a difference. And you can learn more about how to get involved at bbbs.org/ALLCITY. So, of course, make sure to join us over here if you can. And, of course, we are just very excited to also be inspiring youth through the power of sports. And, again, I know even what we do here at PHNX can be something that can be very, very inspiring to young people. So we're excited to be involved in this in any way at all. So what else we got? Let's get back to the mailbag. I'm sappy enough. I can't cry on this new merch. So let's get moving. What else we got?
Ragnar Talmarte Maniac wants to know, what is the most appropriate way to punish a man who constantly attempts to jinx the team by asking, what's the worst that can happen?
This is about Bert, isn't it? Is this a Bert thing? Yeah. I don't tar and feathering at this point seems like an appropriate old school punishment for that. You're not going to kill. I mean, I know they used to use really hot tar and you used to kill the person, I believe. I'm not asking to go that far. Maybe just some sticky substances and some fluff from Baxter. Just some of his fur that gets caught in the couches at Chase Field and stuff. Just throw him with that. I don't know. Remember, what we say on Twitter and what the guys say in the booth have no actual impact on the baseball game. I do know that it feels like it, though. More importantly, I think Bert just purposefully does it to bother us, and I don't think that's ever going to stop. So I think that that we're just stuck. We're stuck in this spiral. But I think Bert does a great job. I love him. I think, of course, yeah, I know you guys are all calling me a liar because you think everything that we do actually impacts baseball games. I wish that was the case because I would write every single headline as a loss, and the Diamondbacks would go 162-0. What else we got, Kev?
Next up, we got Michael Rokicki, who wants to know, could 100 Kevin Ginkles take down one gorilla?
I'm too old for this, Kevin. What are these questions? What is this? This is a viral thing, right?
Yeah, this is a question that went viral. This is a question that went viral on Twitter. Someone just tweeted, hey, can 100 people beat one gorilla? Who you got? And it just completely took off.
But it's 100 Kevin Ginkles, right? So obviously one of them is the original Kevin Ginkle, and we're talking about 99 genetically engineered clones. So you mean to tell me that a genetically engineered clone of Kevin Ginkle, along with the 98 of his friends being led by the OG, the OTC, right? You mean to tell me they can't take down a single gorilla? Has that gorilla ever watched Kevin Ginkle come off the mound after striking out 3 dudes? Does that gorilla have that level of energy? Or is that gorilla ready for that level of a fight? Look, I'm not saying a lot of Kevin Ginkles aren't going to get killed in this scenario. There's going to be some losses, right? But as long as we protect the original, we can keep carbon copying. We can keep printing him, right? So that we just keep him in the back directing the others. And yeah, we might have a little bit of a multiplicity issue where the more copies you make, the dumber they get. But again, you send those guys out first, and then you get the smart ones behind them. That gorilla is going to only tear off so many arms before he's going to get tired.
You also don't need smart ones. You just need brawn.
You actually need dumb ones because you need the ones
You just need strong ones.
Yeah, because there's going to be at least 3 or 4 clones that are they start asking what's the purpose of this? Why would I serve this?
Was I created just to fight this gorilla?
Was I created to fight a gorilla? This is insane. And then they have an existential crisis, and then things fall apart. We got another gorilla-related question. The answer is yes. 100 Ginkles could definitely take a gorilla.
If you got to pick one player on the team to fight 100 gorillas and win to guarantee the Dbacks a World Series, who are you picking? And this is from Corbin Carroll Enthusiast, parenthetically adding the purple version.
The purple version, yeah. The answer is Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor with a helmet. Have you seen the damage he's done without one? You give Josh Naylor 2 baseball bats and a helmet, and he is going to kick all 100 gorillas' asses, every single one of them.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Safe space. Either Mike Hazen Or Shelby Miller.
Oh my God.
If he can come back from what he came back from to actually win the Dbacks that trade, he can come back from being down 100-0 against a gorilla.
I just had this whole Daredevil-esque fantasy of Mike Hazen.
Like in Rambo gear? Like in Rambo gear?
Yeah. We just tatted up. Just whipping a bunch of gorillas' asses, like with some sort of,
like nunchucks or something.
Something. That's a wild answer, but I actually would rank him above a lot of players. He has that killer instinct. He goes for the jugular for other teams and transactions, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't hesitate to kill 100 gorillas. All right, what else we got?
Yoshi wants to know, do you guys ever think about how the 2023 Snakes Alive sign is the perfect example of everything that's wrong with the concept of AI art?
No, that thing is perfect. What are you talking about? What the Snakes Alive sign proves that the simplicity of anything, as long as it's solid enough at its core ideal, it will resonate with people. It will impact an entire nation of Diamondbacks fans and Damonbacks fans as well. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I think that what's hilarious about it is that the Snakes Alive guy really deserves a lot more credit than he gets for that whole Snakes Alive thing. And it just goes to show one little simple printed 2-word phrase on a sign somehow became the rallying call of this team that made an incredible postseason run all the way up to the World Series. So I don't know. I mean, I'm more bothered by the appealing AI art. I'm mad that AI got us all to be like, oh, I can make little cartoon versions of myself that's perfectly drawn, like Spirited Away. Yeah, I want that. I want that in my life. That bothers me more. All right, what else we got?
Next up. This is a tough one. Rank the following ice cream flavors: mint chocolate chip, Rocky Road, cookie dough, Neapolitan, butter pecan, cookie and cream, chocolate, and vanilla.
We had stuff to do, Zabe. We had stuff to do. And here's Zabe bringing our entire workday to a halt. Do I get the rest of the office involved with this?
Oh, yeah. You want me to go get someone?
That's crazy. What are we even doing here? I need more prep time for this. Put that list back up there. All right. So, okay, we're going to rank them. Are we going to start at 1 or are we going to rank at the bottom?
Let's start at 1.
Okay. Goat? Goat from this list is already at the top. It's mint chocolate chip.
No.
It's mint chocolate chip.
No. I'm not a big mint guy.
Okay, well, if you're not a mint guy, I mean, mint is cookie dough would also be up there.
I might have
cookies
cookie
and
dough
cream
one.
would also be up there. I'm going to go any 3 of those at any particular time. But all right, I will give you because of its. I guess if we're going not in my personal order, but what I think
like a consensus one.
Yeah, no, this is probably cookies and cream, cookie dough, mint chocolate chip. Then I'm going to have to get Neapolitan in there. Then vanilla over Rocky Road. Chocolate.
You got to give vanilla the nod because it's the classic.
Vanilla is so good. I mean, yeah.
A really good vanilla? Like an actual quality vanilla?
You don't even need toppings in it.
You don't.
But you have the fact that you can just go ahead and add whatever the hell you want to it. I can buy vanilla for the group and everybody can be happy. You can't say that about Neapolitan because some jerk's going to take all the vanilla and then what? I have to get chocolate now? I'm left with chocolate? No, I'm not doing that. Butter pecan is so last. It couldn't be more last. I rate it a distant, like it's not even on this list as far as I'm concerned.
I've recruited Noah for his thoughts on the top 3 on this list.
Let's get your top
ranking.
3.
We have Suns producer Noah, graphics extraordinaire, Michigander.
BCSC is going to be thrilled you're here.
Oh yeah, we do have BCSC in the chat.
Yeah, I need 3.
Let's do cookie dough 1, Neapolitan 2, butter pecan 3.
Get the hell out of here, Noah. Get out of here and don't ever come back on this show ever again. Butter pecan 3? What? That's outrageous. That is outrageous. Get out of here.
The worst part about that is he was clearly like rushing towards the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I urgently waved him in here as if I needed help with something.
Something was very important.
And I kind of just set him up for failure.
Get
but I
outta
do
here.
think Noah is a troll. He might have been trolling, chat. He might have been
Get
trolling.
out of here. All right. Yeah. What? That's again. This needs to be an additional content thing. We're gonna have to go and bring in the entire group to get in on this. So we'll do our best. But yeah, Noah, exactly. Nelson's right. Noah's just causing rage bait. That's exactly what he's doing. And we don't do that around here. We have a good time on this show. I turned on the cactus light. I'm not doing it right now because you guys want that.
Groundhog Mama says butter pecan mint chocolate chip on my top, cookies and cream,
Get
vanilla at the bottom.
Out.
Cookies and cream and vanilla at the bottom?
Get out. Vanilla at the bottom. Get out. Get out.
Cookies and cream and vanilla at the. We gotta move on.
Yeah,
we're gonna lose our. We're gonna
This is
lose our
upsetting.
minds.
This is upsetting.
Mark wants to know: you can go back in time and have one former player have modern day social media. Who would you want to see on there? I.e., Babe Ruth on Instagram for him doing the 999 challenge as a warm up.
Is it wrong that I would want like Pete Rose giving betting tips on there?
This is Petey's parlay.
Petey parlay goes crazy. Goes crazy.
You see, we are not going to score enough runs today.
Yeah.
Because I am going to walk every at bat.
No. I don't know. There were some really funny people back in the day that I can think of. There was a guy one time named George Fatty Hackett. He was known as the world's largest baseball player. I need to hear from him. And then, of course, there's just like the old-timey players. Like, I would love to hear, like they said, like Babe Ruth. Like Babe Ruth, what his tweets would actually be about. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't enough bourbon and cigars in the lobby of the hotel today. You know, that kind of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, people said Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs would be great. Wade Boggs and the 76 beers. Yes, that would be something electric. Yes. I don't know. I wish Zach Greinke would have had a Twitter account and actually been the person he is in real life on the Twitter account.
Would he have used it though? Isn't he kind of like?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's not like he wasn't around in a time where social media was prevalent. This isn't like an old timey player, so this is a little bit different. But this is just more of like a. I would have loved to hear him air the thoughts that he has on Twitter in that same exact way. Randy Johnson also just being allowed to go off. That's another Diamondback that I would have loved to see what his Twitter account was. He would have posted a bunch of photos that were really well taken that would have confused us all the time. Maybe Randy would have been better equipped for an Instagram back in the day. He did say he didn't take pictures during the season.
The Instagram post after he unfortunately struck that bird would have
he
gone
taken
so
the most
hard.
Beautiful
it would have gone so hard.
You've ever seen in your life. It would have been the most beautiful thing you've ever seen.
Sorry, Peter.
We're still talking about 1 beers, 2 beers, 3 beers, 4 beers. We're talking about Wade Boggs on that flight. Yes, live tweeting that flight where he drank 76 beers. That would definitely be electric. Steven Bananas wants to know how many beers I could put away on a flight. I've never legally tested my limits on that because I don't like to get thrown off of planes.
Yeah, is this like a realistic hypothetical, or is this like literally you're just given 100 beers to chew through and you have the whole flight? And like how many in that hypothetical though? How many do you think you could get through? Like an hour and a half flight?
An hour and a half flight?
Yeah.
12? I'm not going crazy. That's like an hour and a half flight. Like the problem is that beer is very filling to me, and you also have limited use of the restroom. So there's that factor to factor in.
No, but again, in this hypothetical, you're pretty much flying private. It's pretty much just you in the bathroom and some beers.
Yeah. Elizabeth says, so you've done it illegally. You know what? I don't like these questions. I don't like the direction that these questions are going. And excuse me, Officer Zabe, but I believe unless you are arresting me, I don't have anything else to say here. But I do appreciate you guys so much. Ryan says those are rookie numbers. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm trying to be realistic here. What do you want me to say? Oh, I could drink 40 in an hour and a half. That's on a plane. I can't even drink 12 beers probably standing here in an hour and a half. But I'll try it. I'll go for it. I do appreciate you guys, even those of you that want to always talk about Noah. BCSC says Noah is an ice cream flavor. Butter pecan. That's what he is.
I think he would be butter pecan.
He's an acquired taste for sure.
Acquired taste, kind of nutty, but he's sweet.
Very nutty.
But he's sweet.
Oh, yeah.
He actually is butter pecan.
He is. You nailed it. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by. Of course, the Diamondbacks go on to take on the Mets tonight, so make sure to check that out. Of course, we will be back tomorrow with a post-game show, and I believe our guy Jesse Friedman is going to join us on that one. So excited for that. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Cap_Caveman with a K. Kev is at Kevo Posts. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks. But as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We appreciate your time so much. Thank you again for stopping by. Go Snakes tonight against the Mets. Let's do the same thing to them here at home that we did in New York. And until tomorrow night, again, behave yourselves. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you rank butter pecan at the bottom of your ice cream flavor list.
We all silly like the mayor.